Alright, there's a big red button. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while. God, I'm finally down on the res. With us tonight. I just want to start out by saying sorry, guys. It took a week to get this one out, and hopefully we'll get this one out by Wednesday. We have a new guest with us tonight. With me and Sky is Cassandra Jose. So,
y'all.
Hey. What's up?
Nice. Yeah. So first time on the podcast, and I think what's kind of our format here now is we ask, are you a listener? Have you heard any of our podcasts?
Oh yes, I have. You know what? Where I work, it does involve a lot of listening to music, and so the podcast that I've heard, Big Rob, Bonnie, Amy, Ines, I'm familiar with who they are, and they're kind of long, like, they're an hour and some change.
Yeah.
And because of what I'm doing, it gives me that time to actually listen. That's cool. I learn things about other people that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
That I just would have never known.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. That's some good feedback. Usually Sky chimes in and says, do you have a favorite episode? It's just quiet.
Yeah, I was going to say, what lines from Friday do you use in your day-to-day?
There you go.
What lines from what?
Friday.
What lines from Friday, anyway?
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Yeah, the movie Friday. Ice Cube and Chris Tucker.
Oh my gosh, that movie! That movie should be so easy to quote, but then being put on the spot to quote something out of that movie that I can't even figure out where to quote from.
Have we even released that episode? Did we even release that yet?
No.
Well, we got an entire episode of it coming out soon. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, but
of quotes from Friday.
Yeah.
Well, we're just talking about the movie, like. Oh, we talked. It's been a while since we did it, but
yeah.
That movie was really awesome, but it seems to be like we quote it like every time we can use it in our natural life, like.
Yeah. I might even.
Yeah, I was. You know what? I was just watching, it was a YouTube channel on John Witherspoon, Craig's dad.
Yeah.
And how he was talking about when they put that movie together, it was so original. Like, they didn't have really no storyline, and they didn't really have, scripts or anything. It was just all them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they ended up making millions.
Damn, no kidding.
Yeah, no, that's why I don't understand why like other films get way more props than what they were doing was just naturally just put the camera on me and I'll make you guys laugh.
And he was saying that John was saying that they didn't really get. I think they got $5,000 each to make that movie, and it's a movie that everybody is familiar with.
Yeah. Wow. $5,000. Jesus.
Right, $5,000 to do that.
Did he say they got any like props? Like not props, but like when every time they show it, do they get any royalties out of that? Like, do they get any more money, or is it just like $5,000? Didn't know it was gonna be that big, and this is what I got.
Basically, yeah, that was it. That was $5,000. That was it. There was no like an incentive like this movie here. Here's an extra, whatever. No.
Jeez.
Yeah, you got to see that.
If they were lucky, they made the sequel.
Yeah. If they're lucky, a lot of people got the axe.
Right. It's just random actors, and they ended up becoming famous because of that movie.
Yeah.
In a way, it's familiar, like Debo, R.I.P.
Yeah. Damn.
Oh,
and
damn.
Chris Tucker, you know, all of them.
Yeah.
What's a Smokey? What?
Yeah. Well, he was. I wish he was in the second one.
I
wish they kept him.
I think they did. I think he did it with Jackie Chan at the time. I think they were shooting. What the fuck was it?
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour. I think they were filming that when they tried to do the second one. I think.
Yeah, because he was doing that, and it was more money.
Yeah.
He went and got Rush Hour paid him more.
Like, man,
where the money's at?
Fuck Friday. They only gave me $5,000. Let's make some money.
Oh man.
So
what else movies? What else movies?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, what else movies like remind you of like growing up, or like that's on Friday's level?
I know, right?
Shit.
I don't. Friday definitely has taken the cake. Like, that movie can be watched anytime.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times you've seen it. Other movies, like I like Dave Chappelle, so Half Baked
was
another one. And but see, I don't watch that over and over and over like that. Friday is definitely something I would always, tune in on.
It's got those elements of like the res life. Like, I think that's why I liked it so much. It's like that sells right there. Like, that's those are people that I've met. It's like, I know these guys.
What's that?
I was gonna say, like, one thing that's kind of unique about, well, I guess with how you're in Arizona now, but you're not always in Arizona, and now you're on the res. Like, what is?
Yeah, we got you.
What is the difference between like being here and then being
good question.
Other places?
Yeah, good question.
Or
so, I think it's with everybody that's from the res, and it's kind of my general outtake. Is when you go somewhere else and you kind of build a foundation there, it's a little hard to get out of that bubble, because the reservation, it's in its area, and we're not in city limits, and we're not in a big area with this huge buildings and many many people and stuff like that. And so the difference to me is when I'm not here and I'm out. I currently live in Oklahoma. I didn't just pick Oklahoma off the map. My father is actually from there, and he's black, and my mother who was native, who was on Altham, is from the res. And to me, when I'm gone, how they say you can leave the res, but you can't take the res out the person or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the same way. I'm always telling somebody to hit G. I'm always saying, I'm always saying that, and it's something that it's just a natural thing that. And so, being out there and stuff, being away from the res, it's learning experiences to me. I don't think that I would be able to move away and just stay away for the rest of my life. Because I grew up on the res, and that's not somewhere I'm trying to escape from.
Yeah.
It's just learning experiences.
I like that you call it a bubble, because I'm always trying to put it in words, and then for you to call it a bubble, it's like, that's it. Like, when you're in the bubble, everybody kind of looks like you. You can speak the same language. You can quote Friday, and more than likely they'll throw it right back at you. But then you leave, and suddenly you're the minority, or the brown person, or like you're just I don't want to say second citizen, but yeah, you kind of are when you go outside the bubble. And I don't think everybody understands that. Like, I'm sure there's people that aren't from a res, but a different culture, and they feel that bubble, that separation, that little degree of separation when you're out amongst, I guess, a big city. You said Oklahoma, right?
Yes, and I'm right in Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was.
I'm actually, yes. So I know there's different natives out there. I haven't, it'll be nice to go to different areas and meet Shawnees and meet, I don't even know, like all of them. It would be, but it's not necessarily my interest to go do that because I already have where I'm from. Yeah. And I'm more interested in what's going on where we're at than I am someone else's. No offense or anything like that. It's just, we're native, but we kind of separated and have our own, things that we do, or ways of growing up.
Yeah.
I got you on that.
And so, the bubble comes from, it's hard for me to adjust. Cause I'm so used to, everyone I grew up with, and, I just built family, friends became family and stuff like that. And so to leave that, it's kind of to me, I'm a little awkward. I don't know how to form conversations with people like, hey, what's up? And you're just talking to someone random as if y'all known each other for the rest of your life. I mean, like y'all known each other forever. I'm not like that. I'm very quiet, very reserved. In the bubble, I guess. Just in my own little bubble. But when I come back home, it's like all that's gone. all of that's gone. Like I'm here, I'm there, I'm visiting everybody as much as I can, and it's always a good feeling, and it makes me want to come back home. It always does. There's never. I don't ever want to. I can't see myself moving back to the res or near the res. I don't ever. That's not ever a thought. And so, Oklahoma has treated me very well. Like that, I got a medical assisting certification through one stop on the res. They paid me funding to go through school. And so, that's where I started. Like, they paid, I don't know how much it was. I went to the trade school, finished the whole program. It was like the little 9-month program. They paid for all of that, the rent, like schooling, and I finished the whole program, got my little certification, had a little graduation. I said, oh, I graduated, that's what's up. And I couldn't find a job. Like, I had the certification, I just couldn't find a job. I was applying everywhere. UNC, TNC, just places where medical assistants were needed, and I wasn't really too familiar with being an MA, so I kind of let that go, and I felt like it was a waste because the nation did help me. They want to help you move further in life, and I remember the day that I went to go ask for how to do this, they told me that it's kind of hard to pick and choose because people want to go through these programs and they don't finish. That's what I was told. Yeah. And I looked. I don't remember her name, but I looked and I was like, well, you can't really categorize me the same as everyone else. The only thing you can do is give them an opportunity. Yeah. And where it goes is just where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Go ahead.
They were with it. I was so happy. I was like, oh, I'm about to get a job. My main goal was to come back and work at the nursing home or at IHS at the hospital.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a position at either one of them. I don't know what it was, but
Really?
something wasn't letting me get these positions. I have no idea. And I've tried. I've applied and I've waited.
Jeez.
And I went through the motions. And my first job, actually, my first like medical type job, I worked as a home caregiver for adult protective services. So it was like the elders that were being abused or elders that were kind of homeless, so they had a shelter for them. I was their companion.
Oh, right here on the res, or was that in Oklahoma?
Yeah, here. All this is on the res. Yep.
Wow.
All this is on the res.
I thought they would give preference like the casino does. Like, I think having people from the res able to work on the res, like especially in a field like medicine, like seems to me like they'd be jumping at the opportunity.
Yeah, like that. I don't know what it was. I wasn't able to. I was trying to put my, they help you with everything. One stop, your resumes, interview, practice, all that stuff. They coached me through everything I needed to do, as far as being serious about, finding employment.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't working out. I don't know what it was. So when I finally landed something like that, was here in sales, was the group home for the elders.
Oh. How long did that last?
It was a program that was funded, and I think I worked with them before the program ended. Maybe a good year, if that. Probably a good year. So I got to know these elders. You know what? I don't even know if they're still here with us. It's been many years since that. But yeah, I was their companion. I cooked for them. I helped them with their laundry. Some of them needed help bathing, so I'll help them bathe. I clean up stuff. Clean up the little house that was for them, and it was set up like kind of like a small hospital room where you have multiple beds and you have the curtains around each bed.
Wow.
Yeah.
This wasn't Archie Hendricks, was it?
No, this was I think they still have it now. It's over there in the rentals. It has a gate, like a fence around the house. If I'm correct, that's still the same place. It might be funded through someone else, but it's just a program.
Interesting.
And it's a temporary shelter home.
Well,
so they hold them there and try to get them situated with their families, or to go to a long-term facility like Archie Hendricks.
Tell me this, did you get any like advantage once that was all done, like resume wise, job interview? Does it, experience tends to pay off, and better than not having experience. Did that help you at all when you started? It sounds like you kept applying.
I'm not sure if it helped me, but it definitely motivated me to keep going. Like I love that. I really love working with the elders. I didn't think I was going to. Somebody presented the opportunity, and I'll jump for it. I'm very spontaneous. I'll jump for everything. Like, oh yeah, let me check it out. Cool. And so I ended up getting hired, and so all it did was motivate me to keep going and keep trying. And it's just, I'm not gonna say it's just a medical assistant certification. The MAs, if anybody's an MA, you are the heart of what's going on. You do everything. You're like the nurse's right-hand man. You're not the slave. You're the right-hand man. Everything you do definitely matters.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so just trying to stay on the reservation, and just the jobs weren't opening up. And then Tucson, which is an hour away, those long stretches down Highway 86 and stuff, it just wasn't, working out for me. So as time went on, I migrated to another city.
So you did.
I migrated to another city.
So you did work in Tucson. You got another job and kept going.
Like, no, I didn't know.
So not even in Tucson, it didn't open up.
Nope, I tried my best. I even started tweaking my not tweaking, but I guess it's tweaking.
Yeah.
I started like messing with my resume to make it seem like I have experience. I am a hard worker. Like, yeah, somebody got to hire me. Dang, what's going on? There's so many job openings.
Yeah.
Nothing. I
wow.
don't know if I didn't put in hard enough work or.
God,
So I kind of let it go. Like at the medical assistant certification, I think maybe years. I don't know, maybe a good 4 or 5 years later, I finally was able to utilize it.
Oh, wow. And that will end up being in Oklahoma?
Ended up being in Oklahoma. I worked at a children's hospital. I ended up working with kids from newborns to 18, basically.
Wow. So how big of a change was that from elderly to kids? Like, was that any harder?
It was definitely in an unknown area with unknown people, and I'm unknown to them, and I'm working with doctors and other medical assistants and nurses, and it's a clinic, and it reminds me of UMC. You know how UMC has the children's wing? Yeah. This hospital
like a whole
has
floor.
the children's wing.
Oh no! You're talking about the Diamond Center, the whole new building that's just for children.
Yes, just like that. Yes, just specifically for children. That's what I was doing when I my first time moving, and actually stabilizing myself in another area.
Oh yeah,
with the kids.
Wow, that's awesome.
You know, I'm glad you got it. Like, I'm glad you found it, but at the same time, like, in the back of my mind, I'm like pissed off that the res did not jump at getting somebody from here to take care of our people. Like, that's infuriating. Like, I can't believe it. Would you?
Yes.
Would you come now? Would you come back to the res if something opened up for you? If they offered you a position? Or are you like settled in Oklahoma now? Like, are you set there? Or like, have you still been applying? Like, it sounds like that's been a long past kind of thing. Have you come back and checked again lately?
I would love to. I mean, especially working with our people, like, and in the healthcare, like, that's just something that I'm very passionate about. But my current position, that will be a huge difference. What I'm doing now to being a medical assistant, it will be a lifestyle change for one thing, and it'll be a big decision to make.
Yeah, I bet. You're
and so it would be like a lot of thinking about. It would be nice if you caught me and asked me this 3-4 years ago. Oh yeah, sure, yeah. I'll be like, yep, I'm on my way. Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
But it would be a big decision. So being in Oklahoma, working at the children's hospital, I was missing home. I think I was gone a year. Like, I wasn't even gone that long either. I left in 2014. Stayed a year and came back home. Like, I just wanted to come back home. So I came back home and I started working with the dialysis patients.
Oh, wow.
I commend them for real, because that job right there, it was something I feel like I couldn't do. I was too nervous. Like, there was too much responsibility. I was too nervous. I tried it like I did. I tried to work with the dialysis patients and, in training to, they do their treatments, and they start at 4 o'clock in the morning, and maybe the last shift ends at 4 in the evening, and, this, that, and the other. And they were with it, like, them there, and, taking, and it's, they were saying that our dialysis clinic is one of the largest in the state, I believe.
Wow.
So one of the one we have is one of the big facilities.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
There's a lot of beds. there's a lot of beds, there's a lot of machines, and there's a lot of hands, and there's a lot of caring people in there.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know you came back and did that. I think me and you started talking in like 2013, 2012. And it was because of it was because of the whole medical thing. Like, damn, like, how long have you been in Oklahoma now?
I left in 2014. I kind of like juggled back and forth, but been there a solid 3 years now. Like, actually just been there, you know, when checking myself out about how much I wanted to come home. I thought I was in this bubble and I couldn't, not that I couldn't get away, but I always want to come home.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
So
you belong here, you know, so you always come back.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I know. I was just saying. It's always a good feeling. So, you know, the ones that leave and they go live their life. Just remember where you came from, because that's what your foundation. That's foundation. People think. Okay. And what's funny is when I do go, when I'm out there in the world, people think I'm from another country. I don't know. Maybe because I sound chief. I have no idea. Whatever my accent is, they think that I'm from. They ask me if I'm from the islands. They ask me, am I part Mexican? And I said no, and then I had to explain to them that I'm from a reservation. I said we are like 30 minutes, not even that far from the Mexican border, so we kind of pick up each other's dialect. So a lot of us, if you don't have that strong native accent, you might sound Mexican as well. I mean, they're low accent.
Yeah, I get that.
Wow. So, sorry. So I think I've had this conversation with Sky a few times. It's kind of like in my mind, I never really said like, all right, I'm going back at this time, but like in the back of my mind, it's like, hey, the res is always there. Like, I don't know if I entirely believe that, like, further down the road something could happen, you know, like, I always have this little bit of fear in the back of my mind, but I always think, like, all right, the res is always there to come back to whenever you're ready to. Like, you go live your life, you do a job like you had to leave and do a job for somebody else, for different people, because we didn't take you here. So there's usually opportunity off the reservation that isn't here on the res, which sucks. Like, I think that should be changed. But it's like, okay, opportunities out there, go get it, go live your life, get your job, do your thing. But then, just know in the back of your mind, it's always here. It's here. The land that we belong to is here. And that won't change. Like, the people here will change. The landscape will change, but the land, it's here. The mountains are here. Your family's here. It's how do you feel about that? Like, I mean, I think you've already explained it.
It's your stomping ground.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like anywhere you go, it could be Phoenix. You don't even have to necessarily leave the entire state.
Yeah.
Tucson, 3 points, if you will. I think that everything that you do is a learning experience. And that, whatever especially if you plan to settle back down where you came from, everything that you've learned out there, bring it back and help the next person. Because we definitely learn from each other. It's just the way of life. You learn the bad, the good, the ups, the downs. You learn everything from other people. It's just how it goes. And so I just feel it's a learning experience. Like you said, people change. People come, people go. babies are born and they're growing up here, and elders, you know, they're getting older, but the foundation, like that, barbecue grease, and the barbecue mountains going to be there, Kit Peak's going to be there, unless they decided to blow it all up. That would be weird. But, everything else, the back roads will be there, the cows, the horses, everything will always be there. So it's just, you know, that learning curve that we all need to get to the next level. It's always nice to know more than what you knew yesterday.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
I have a question. So, this going off topic, but like in high school, like you're pretty athletic, but did you ever like want to go that route? Like,
good question.
Because you could have. Cross country or volleyball or basketball, like I just remember you just kind of being a natural athlete.
Not at all. I don't want to play no sports. Not even in high school. I was, you know, definitely. I'd like to try to be the best. Got many nicknames in high school. CJ, which my initials, Cassandra Jose. C-Style was another one. I've always been stylish. I'm still stylish now.
That's nice.
I know, right? My page was decorated, and it was constantly being decorated because I was just with it. Well, there's other myths, like lemonade, because that lemonade storm, I rode four-wheelers all the time. I don't even know how I got a four-wheeler. I didn't have no money. My mama popped up, and I had a four-wheeler, and now there's a whole four-wheeling crew. Love it to death. I will always remember those days. So when it came to sports and stuff, I played sports and did different things because the homies were doing it. And that's like that's what I wanted to chill with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In basketball, I could play, you know I could play, and I didn't like playing, but I did play. Like, we had open gym when Underdees was there, and we would run the back roads and then have open gym. What's it called, open gym or whatever it was?
Yeah, running club.
Running club, yes, the running club, yes. That. I only did those things because everybody that I was chilling with, that's what they were doing. So shoot, I'm with y'all too. You want to play basketball? Let's play basketball. When it came to cross country, you ran cross country. Serena ran cross country. Rochelle, I was cool with them, and so I did cross country. And I ended up being pretty, great at different volleyball. Yeah. Volleyball's my best friend, Gracie. She played volleyball, so I'm like, shoot, I guess we're going to play volleyball this season, or whatever it's called. But, yeah, it was mainly that. It wasn't because I was, I want to maybe take athletics further. Well,
yeah.
I was always encouraged. I was definitely encouraged to do that, but it would never. But I wanted to do, my dream job.
Yeah,
a mechanic?
Yes, I wanted to learn how to work on four-wheelers, dirt bikes, cars, trucks, vehicles, anyways. Right. That's what I really wanted to do.
Nice.
And I applied for it. Miss Grunlow, you know how she was trying to help everybody.
Yeah. She's still around.
To college.
Yeah.
She, I was applying. I was applying to AI. Is it AI? Something. Some auto.
AI, yeah.
Yes, that. Yeah, I definitely applied for it. And right after high school, I moved to Tennessee. Maybe a couple months later, after graduation, I left.
What was there? And
my father, who is in the military, he's always stationed somewhere. And so I'm thinking, I didn't have my L's, my license at that point. I didn't have anything. So I'm thinking, I'm going to move over there. I'm gonna go to college because that's what you do after high school, right? I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna build everything there, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna open my own business and I'm gonna work on all this stuff.
Yeah. Nice.
It did not work out. It didn't work out. I wanted to come home. I didn't last very long out there. I wanted to come home and I stayed here until I recently got moved. So I spent all my time on the res, like all my years on the res until just recently, a couple years ago.
Wow.
It's been a journey.
Yeah, sounds like it.
I always imagine you like international. Would you travel? Would you say you travel a lot throughout the years?
Yes, I traveled. I think the traveling comes from living in different. My mother was fortunate enough to. She lived in Kansas. She lived in California. Wow. She lived on the reservation. So she took. I'm her oldest baby. Well, she took us with her, and I would just, it's just something normal. The moving around was just normal.
Yeah.
And then my father's from Oklahoma, so my mother, she did not mind. I'm gonna throw me and my little sister, who is 4 years younger than me, throw us on the airplane, and we have a chaperone, and let us fly away, and then my family on that side will pick us up at the airport.
Wow.
So those were the early years. I've been to school in Oklahoma. I did go in 6th grade. One whole school year there. It was definitely a culture shock. Definitely. There's white kids, there's black kids, there's Asian kids, there's me, then there's, this is definitely a culture shock. Very scared, terrified of all these kids. Yeah, 6th grade. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was always confused because I moved off the res like 3rd grade, but I didn't know who you were when I came back. So I was wondering, like, did I just not know you a long time ago, or?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
No, you didn't, because I started school on the reservation in 3rd grade. Kindergarten through 2nd grade, I was in Kansas. Came to the reservation 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Left for 6th grade. Came back 7th to finish back on the res.
Wow.
So I think maybe in middle school is when, we're kind of all together.
Yeah.
We're just growing up with each other. That's when.
Yeah, I was trying to think when I started to see you around. I feel like I only really remember you in high school, or when I was in high school. And I didn't even know you. Like I feel like we only started talking afterwards.
I think. Well, we ran cross country together. I remember that. And you were always the smart kid. You always got your shit done. Like, you just didn't fuck around. You just made sure everything was done, and like you were the go-to if you need help with anything. You were just the go-to. So I think that things I needed help with, I would talk to you a little bit, but not as much. Speaking of high school, you have this tattoo on your back, the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, this guy.
And the only reason, the only reason I have the Nightmare Before Christmas down my leg is because of that tattoo.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, on the back. It was an inspired. It wasn't because I just love the Nightmare Before Christmas. And nope. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen the movie. Probably once.
Nah, that's so cool. But I feel close, but not to where you let me be me. So that was always something throughout the years, even though like we might not have seen you or talked to you. I like know you have my back, and just reflecting on the olden days, and it seems so long ago, but then again it doesn't because time is so weird. But yeah, it was always cool because like, you were always saying what I wanted to say, and that was always awesome because, sometimes I might have held back, but one of my earliest memories is I can't remember what it was. We're stopped somewhere and we're getting something to eat, and it was like after a cross country meet, and like I just remember you just full of pump, full of energy, just like ready to run, and after the meet, I missed whatever had happened. I don't know if you got in trouble or if you just wanted to just do some push-ups, but you were just knocking out push-ups like nothing, and I'm like, yeah, I was just. But that's just like you had to do push-ups. I can't remember why, but it was just kind of like you weren't complaining. You were just doing them all cool. And I was just like, damn, man, I wish I could do this.
I don't even remember this. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but it was just like, I can't do that. But yeah, I just then I always remember when you invited me to go watch you play volleyball, because I wasn't even gonna go. Like, I didn't even support volleyball outside, but you were like, "Nah, come to the game," and then like see you just tear it up and just dominate, and I was like, I don't know, just kind of just badass, but you didn't. It wasn't. Now hearing you explain how sports wasn't really like the sports had nothing to do with you. Just that was a social aspect, like where you got to hang with your friends, and that's the best part too, So, you're too cool. In my
it's too cool. It's like with Bob, I didn't really chill with Bob. I probably partied with him once or twice.
Yeah, sounds right.
We weren't close like that. See, I didn't. But I'm very familiar with who he is. Like, if you tell me, like, oh yeah, I know, I'm familiar with who that is. And that's what's awesome about the Rez. You're just familiar. Yeah. Even if you don't know them, you're familiar.
Yeah, I've grown up with a whole lot of people, and they were there from the beginning to the end of school, anyway. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, but
it's always interesting. Yeah.
I always bring that up with like Head Start. Like, some people start out with Head Start and they follow them all the way. Like, they're friends up until like senior year. Or started out at Head Start and they went through the grades together. Kind of. I mean, it's not.
And I had a hard time.
It's weird. Yeah, it's just kind of. It is weird, because when we moved, we thought when we moved and we were moving to Tucson, like we thought we were gonna get beat up. Like that was our. That was what we felt like oh, we can get beat up.
Yeah, speaking of that, like I had a hard time growing up on the Reds because I am half black, and so I got picked on a lot. And maybe that's where, I'm not going to say I'm mean. A lot of people think I'm mean now or intimidating, or, I don't know, I've been called certain things. You seem mean, but you're really cool, or, you seem like you're just the B word, and you're nowhere near that, and stuff like that. And so I had a tough time with all these, not res kids, but all these res kids. You know, my hair was different. My hair is not long and straight. It's a fro, basically. It's poofy, like a cottontail. And so I did experience, like, having it a little rough.
That I could relate to.
And trying to cling on to someone that's actually, you know, cool with me. And her name, her mom is from here. Her name is Leanne Garrison. Is it Garrison? No, Leanne LaPointe. I don't know what her last name is now. It's Leanne LaPointe, and she's half white and half native, and we were like the best of friends. And she's no longer on the res. She moved out, and she's doing her own thing. We're all grown up now. But yeah, it was rough. You know, it was rough. But then at the same time, I really didn't care. The first and last time I actually got jumped at school, I'm always going to tell this story as I remember it, how it went. These two girls, I don't know what the issue was, but they jumped me, both these girls, and I was in 4th grade at this point. And my only friend, which I really should reach out to her. She was a counselor, and so she was like my only friend. I don't remember what I shared, if I was open with her, if I wasn't open with her. I don't remember that far back. But from that point on, I was a little more protective of myself. Like, it's just something that came with being bothered by other kids and stuff like that. And so, but I'm glad for those experiences because, people don't realize how or what type of person you are unless they give you a chance and get to know you. And I feel like I've become really cool with a lot of people. Like, I don't know what it is, but their door is always open to me. I don't know if everybody else gets that, that welcome in or whatever, but everywhere I go, the door is always open. I'm so thankful for that because, without that, especially on the res, I wouldn't feel like home. Like, I don't go nowhere. I don't see anybody, and I don't really talk to anybody. I'm so glad to be on here with y'all.
Yeah.
It's just always, what a learning, what a journey. What a journey.
Man, another compliment for you is you probably got the best Snapchat. I think, because I gave up on Snapchat, and yours is the only one that, I'll go to it because I know yours is going to be funny or good. Because you're doing things, you're working, and you're out, with your family out there in Oklahoma, and that's always funny to see, your interactions with your those are your nephews or your nieces?
Oh, in Oklahoma, they are a very good friend of mine. I met her out there. Those are her children. So now I'm their Amy. It's not auntie, it's Amy. So now I'm their Amy.
Oh. Yeah, I know.
She's just a good friend.
Oh. Watching it, I just assumed they're your family. Or
she does have 6. So there's multiple children.
Wow. You guys are real close, though.
And that's a whole other story. I mean, I can always come back and share with you. I will do a brief summary. I know that, so what it was, and some people are familiar with this, it was a church that I got involved in, and that's where I met her. We became really, really cool. We're just night and day, both of us. She's super cool, and I'm super cool. Just kidding. But I feel like without her, I have a hard time adjusting to different things in Oklahoma, because she welcomed her home to me. So I wasn't living by myself, and I wasn't told, you know, she helped me get on my feet, because I literally left Arizona with $400 in a dream that I didn't know where my dream was taking me.
Wow.
I didn't have anything. And so she definitely helped me out. And so, like I said, I met her in a church, and come to find out this church that we were going to, you know, church is church. Mm-hmm. It ended up being a whole cult, like a real-life cult. I ain't bullshit, like a real life, the characteristics of a cult, all that is what we were doing, and we will never forget. We'll never forget it. She was involved in it for 8 years.
Whoa. I
was in it for at least like 4 years or something like that. It's wild. Like it's wild, and it's annoying.
How'd you get out?
Like brainwashed?
Yeah, basically, like you're so gullible. And natives, they are very gullible people. Look, you know, some of the things that happen on the res, we're too nice or whatever. We just let things happen.
Yeah.
And we don't really, like, not that we don't speak up, but, you know, we kind of, I'm not going to say we get ran over either, but we're just kind of gullible people. We're so reserved that we just kind of keep to ourselves. So, me being involved with that, I'm just thinking it's cool. Like, it's just, I don't go to church. I know we're back at home, back on the res. I didn't go to church. I know there's traditional ways, and, you know, people, you know, they honor that very much. I wasn't involved in any of that either, although I'm very familiar with, you know, different things that they do as far as, you know, their most high, or their upper power that they, you know, that they believe in. You know, they're set with that. I wasn't like that. I was just kind of me. So I'm thinking it's not a big deal. It's just church. Oh, okay. It wasn't just church.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's when I met her. We became, you know, really good friends. I'm still trying to invite her to the reservation. Come out here. Come say hey to everybody. I mean, it would be nice for, you know, some that aren't from here. Cause I don't just bring anybody home. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing that. No, because, you know, my grandparents and my mother, I'm not just going to bring anybody around. So it has to be a special relationship for me to actually go the extra mile to, you know, introduce you as family to my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'll just meet you, you know, we can go eat lunch or whatever, and then keep it pushing, you know, stuff like that.
Nah, I got you. That's like only serious inquiries can meet the family.
Always. So how'd you get out? How'd you cut ties with the cult?
Man, it's cold. They kicked me out. I was disobedient and got kicked out the damn church.
Damn.
Right. Well, what did you do to get kicked out? Right.
Well, yeah.
But that's what they do. That's how they, like, right, who gets kicked out of church? Well, you either just leave or, you know, or you're attending church. You don't, I don't know how you get kicked out, you know. So, yeah, I ended up getting put out. Put out the organization.
Wow.
Which is, it was, what it was called, which you can Google it, it's called the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ. And I'm pretty sure that it was originated in New York, and it migrated to other states, and it migrated to Oklahoma City, and it migrated into my brain, and now I'm there.
Do you still carry like traits that they instilled in you? Do you still kind of revert to that kind of thinking sometimes?
Not necessarily, but there are situations that remind me of that place.
Wow.
And sometimes it's an irritating type. Like, I really wish that I didn't experience that. Although I did, sometimes I wish I didn't. Like, I was so super serious about it that I was too serious to where that place had me offend really good friends here on the res. I know I've offended some because we do not talk, and I know I was talking all types of reckless because what I was doing was talking like I'm trying to push this church on them, and they already got their lives set and stable, and here I come trying to change their mind like how my mind was changed.
Jeez.
Terrible.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. I mean, I'm not speaking from experience, but like hell, in a way, we're all part of the res code here. We got that mindset going on, and wherever you go, you kind of take it with you. Like you said, you can't take that res out of you.
You definitely can't take the res out of you. That's so funny.
But what about the church? I mean, did you find a new church? Like an actual church now? Or you put the church aside right now?
Yeah, I can't, like, the way it was so in depth that with what was going on that I won't be able to cling on to something else, and I just can't. I don't know. I just can't. People have invited me to come to their church, and you should come. And I don't want somebody telling me what
So you're
what
more
this
cautious?
means. And I'm very.
Wow.
I just step back. Like I'm not trying to be offensive or nothing, but I will never go to church ever again. And it has nothing to do with like I don't believe in church or nothing like that. It's just what I was involved in. A lot of people in that place have left, and everybody has, I'm not going to say bad memories, but you can't really just trust what people tell you, which is true. That's anywhere, really. You can't just go off what somebody said and that's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's been implemented for like the past 30 years, and it's an organization that's been going on. It's wild.
Sounds like it, yeah. Like a wild ride.
You're no longer affiliated with them.
Me too.
Wow.
Huh. When you said that to me before in the message, when we're getting ready for doing the podcast, and we're just like, you're asking like, what do we talk about? And I thought that was a joke about the code. Making up stories about I can tell you about the Kodo man and being sarcastic. I'm like, yeah, but damn, that's pretty wicked.
It happens.
Yeah, it definitely is. I feel like if any church member that's still involved in that heard me talk about it and I'm calling it a cult, their first thought is that I'm speaking with what they call it, a devil's tongue.
Oh, jeez.
Like as if I'm like talking down, or I'm not talking down or nothing like that. I'm just kind of saying exactly the characteristics that it holds. It holds. If you promote cult, at least that it tells you that's what it is from front to back. And the only way I would know is the experience. The experience is going through that. So I'm so thankful for my friend. Her name is Vanessa, by the way. Thankful for Vanessa to opening up my home to her and her kids. So once she didn't even know me, we're both in this school, and I'm from somewhere, from not from Oklahoma, well, and we became really, really good friends. Like, we became very, very, very close. She's with her husband, and they've been together like people on the res. They're with for a long time. There's people that got together in high school and they're still together today. That's them. Years and years later, they just share 6 kids with each other. And so that's something, I love that. I love when families stay together, because that's not, like I say, it's not a big thing, but it's, people, they split ways and they share these kids, and the split home, the split between two homes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, the family oriented, how they are, it's a good feeling. It reminds me of back at home. My grandparents are still together, and every time I come home, this is where that's where I'm at right now at this moment. Family.
Family.
I love family. I love family.
Would you say that's like a res trait too? Is like being family oriented? Like what? At least one of the positive things that comes from being on the res is like you grew up with a sense of family. Even if it's not like your direct family, but like you got your friends that became your family.
Yes, I think it's with everybody that is grown up on the res. I don't know if they do it now, but back then when we had birthday parties, it's like the whole family was there.
Yeah.
We played games. Musical chairs was my shit. I love making musical chairs. I had to win. The stepping on the balloon when it's tied around your ankle, I didn't like that so much because it hurts sometimes. They try to, break your whole ankle trying to smash your balloon. So, and I miss those days. And then at the end of the day, everybody's around and we're singing happy birthday, and it's such a large group.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to push for that now. Like I want that again. That come together familyness. Like it happened a lot more in the past than it does now. And I would like not just my own family, but like the community and the villages. Like I want us to all kind of come back together. Some kind of return to this, like celebrate together, be together, I think there's more energy and power. And I mean, not that we should seek power, but like there's a powerful feeling and this happiness that comes that you can only get from your family, from spending time with them and being around them. And I kind of think that's what we should be pushing for, is to get that back, because I kind of feel like we're losing it. And I like that better than what we got going on right now. Like we're kind of separate. Do you feel that way at all?
Yes, I will say to be consistent with that. I only say that is because especially if you're starting with family, to be consistent with the gathering everyone together. I only say that is because when I do come home, I don't just come home and, hey, what's up, y'all? And then I'll see y'all when I come back. I actually have started trying to get my family together and go do outings.
Yeah.
I know things cost money. The time is probably, sketchy. You don't really have time to do this and do that. Yeah. But I always invite my family, my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, bring the kids, and this is what we'll be here this day. And I've been doing that for the past couple of years, trying to get us all together without it being Christmas or without it being some type of holiday where you're just naturally supposed to do that. I try to do that just, it don't have to be anything in particular.
Yeah.
But hey, and I try to play. I just did that this past weekend. I came home. I came out here on the 28th, my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
Yeah,
my birthday was on April 29th. It was on the 29th, so I threw a birthday party for myself in a way, and invited everyone. Not everybody showed up, which is fine, but the ones that did and took the time to come, I feel like being more consistent with that eventually those votes will come and those memories will, will be built, and the good times, and then not only that, the kids will remember how we got together as they're growing up.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're not kids anymore. The kids are
kids,
and we're not.
But when you were a kid, that was like one of the good memories. You know, like there's plenty of bad that I remember, but like growing up, that was the good stuff. Was all of us running around, you know, all different ages doing something at the dance or something, and like when I do try to do these things, I try to entertain the kids. Like you gotta feed everybody. Like people show up, you gotta feed them. That's how you get the adults to come. But like if you can surprise the kids with whatever, like some kind of fun activity, I think that's huge. Like entertain the kids, show them we don't, you know, something other than just interacting with a phone or like a laptop or something or a tablet. Like show them, hey, get your knees dirty, you know, throw out, you know, get out there, get your hands dirty, and get in the mud and throw a ball around. Yeah, just get out of that damn house.
The robbers.
Yeah. Good. Yeah,
I was always the robber. I was never the cop.
That's good.
But I think to be consistent with it, I like that family oriented thing. Like you're right. It's not like that nowadays. Even before COVID-19 just shook the whole world. Even before that, it was still a trait that was falling off amongst a lot of different families. It's not just one family in particular. I don't know what I don't know what it is, or if it's just times are changing. But it's not to bring back the old days. It's just to keep the memories going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I think it's increasing the positive in these kids' lives. Like, you know, some kids are having trouble eating. Some kids are worried about where their parents are. There's a dark side to the res that I think we all know and we're aware of, and I think if we could provide all of our res kids with some form of positive family interaction, you know, even if the cousins or the uncles or somebody's in the back drinking, like that's part of it too. Like I think increasing or showing them the alternative to that is key. It's huge. Like what Sky's doing with Juan, they're showing these kids positive adult interactions, and they're also being entertained, like taken out of their rooms and taken away from the electronics, and they're doing something physical and positive, like both for their health, both for their mental states, like providing our kids, like we always say the kids are our future. I think we're a lot better off if they've all had some form of positivity like we've had, like the family gathering, and then they'll want that when they grow up for their kids, the next kids, that maybe we won't be there to see, like passing on that good side as much as possible is very important. And I like that you're doing that. It sounds good. Keep it up, and I support that. So, hell, I'll throw in on that. I'm putting this out to not only you and Sky, but our listeners. Like, hey, let's find more positive interactions for these kids to, get outside and get some damn sun on their skin and, a little dust in their lungs. Something where something they can reflect on positively, and it's not all negative or all separated from your families, but kind of joined up. Some sense of community that I think we're kind of losing right now. And I'm not even talking about just the res, but people in general. We're all kind of gravitating towards being alone in our houses, away from the world. Like strangers are our enemies. It's like let's put a little positivity in our kids' lives that doesn't interact with all that negativity. put that shit aside for a little bit. I feel like
heck yeah.
I feel like I'm preaching now.
I was just thinking, because I am the oldest grandbaby. There is at least, I feel like, I don't know, there's at least 20 of us. But, so I don't have any kids. But I was always the babysitter. I think that was a form of, I'm just not going to jump into that situation, because I was always the babysitter from such a young age.
Oh, that's good.
Until now. And so, I love kids. Kids I feel like they have so much life to them. They talk and they grow, and their they start shaping into their personalities. And one thing that I will encourage is, everybody try to, stay together. Some families, they don't even want to fuck with each other. Like, I don't know, I want to deal with that. It's always some bull crap going on.
Yeah.
I would just keep trying. The parties up. It may be small and it may grow and grow. And it's another thing about that. You have to know who is who. You have to. It's your family. Who's your aunt? Who's your uncle? Who's your cousin? Who's this baby belongs to? I always tell people that aren't from the res, the way we explain who we are, they're from this family over there, and their mom is this person, and their dad is this person, and that's how we kind of distinguish who is who. You don't know them, but you're familiar with who this family belongs
to. People
who.
Even if it's just a family name, yeah.
Yes, and you don't know that if you don't know your family. Mm-hmm. And these kids, they need to know that. They need to know,
nice,
they may have a brother over there on that side. Not knowing that they have a relative over there and they're the same age, and maybe they grow up together and they just have no idea they're related.
Yeah. That's key. That's huge. That's something the res provides that I don't think it always happens everywhere else. It's like, hey, a lot of us are cousins. We're all know each other and each other's families, and we're not separated by so much space as you'll find in a lot of other families. We're all here, situated on the res or close by. A point that I want to kind of make, I've been wanting to mention, is that and it shows in Sky and Juan and you and Amy. It's that we are becoming the adults, and all these fond memories we have, fond, negative, whatever. Our memories are based on the people that came before us, and when they were the adults, they organized those things. So now it's fallen on us as the adults to start organizing. So I like to hear you saying, hey, I try to call everybody out. Hey, come celebrate my birthday. I like that. That sounds good. What I like is, you're seeing Juan going into government. He's taking over positions of these government people that we remember. And now it's up to him to kind of take that and do better than they did. And that's kind of the role we're all starting to step into. That's why I came back. Like, I'm inspired to get involved. And this is where it's at. Like I was thinking about it when we were talking about your job in medicine and the hospital here. I got a cousin who's a little bit older than me, and now she runs the cell's emergency room. So it's like, wow. So we have the position now. We're starting to grow up. We're starting to be the adults, and I think it's our job to take a hold of the community, or at least take on these roles, as Sky's doing with the kids. Amy's doing, fighting this like oppression that we're all that people are just becoming accustomed to. And I think you're on the right path. Calling for people to gather. That's that's something that I think we should all keep in mind, that I've noticed it in my own family. Like, my parents are getting older to the point where, you know, they used to organize the camping trips. They used to cook the dinners, and then us as kids would just show up. And now it's like, all right, I gotta cook. I gotta start the fire. I gotta chop the wood. I gotta call my aunts and uncles and say, hey, you guys need to come. You guys need to be here and join in. You're welcome. Come to my cookout, and I'll feed you guys. You know, like the roles are changing, and I think if we could all just recognize that, hey, we're the adults now. It's on us to recreate those good memories for our kids. And even if they're not your kids, they're your family. They are your kids. They're your nieces and nephews and cousins, kids and grandkids and all these people. So I like what you're doing. I like what Sky's doing. I like what I'm seeing from our generation, and I hope we do it even more. And I hope this inspires more people to take on that role. So yeah, I'm really impressed with you. Like, I hope you come back. I hope you find your path back. Like, whatever you're doing. I mean, I'm sure you're doing great stuff out there, but I think our res needs you too. Needs someone like you here.
You ever wish you could, like, clone yourself and be
yeah.
here on the res and Oklahoma City, like you're able to clone yourself and be in both places.
Right. And my biggest, I'm a hustler. I mean, like, I'm very, what do they call it, entrepreneurs?
Nice.
Entrepreneurs. That's my, that's just how I am. And so, my biggest goal really, I don't want to come back to the reservation with nothing. You know, like, you went and did all these things and you're back and starting from scratch, really. I want to come back from everything that I learned, accumulated, hustled for, that I'm bringing it back, and I am helping, you know, for the future. So my biggest thing right now, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen, a lot of people have been talking about it. A lot of people have been hearing rumors about it. I don't care if there's multiple facilities, if there's just one facility. I want to be also the sole owner and the sole builder of a laundromat for the reservation. I have been talking about this for at least a year now. It has not something that has just been, I'm talking about all my life.
I remember.
That's why a laundromat. First of all, it's a solid income for someone that, you know, it's just a solid income. Also, I want to open the doors to other people that do need employment. Like, good jobs are needed everywhere. You can't survive without money. This is just the currency. I mean, what we're using to survive is, finances and money. So I do want to open up the job. You know, they have youth programs. Maybe the youth can come. It's not something all extravagant, you know, it's a laundromat, but, you know, the extra hands and, you know, you may run into somebody at the laundromat and you're washing your clothes and you're chopping it up or whatever. And that's something that I'm going to build. I don't know where it's going to be at. I don't know who's going to tell me the yeses and the nos and what you can and can't do. How big the facility is going to be. But that's my ultimate, you know, those are my steps that I'm going towards. I've also tried to talk with the owners of the last laundromat at the Anita. They're not really with it, and I get it. You know, they have that business going, and then you have, you know, me coming in like, hey, can you rent your laundry facility to me, and I will pay you for the rent or whatever, and I'll just start and build here they weren't really with it. I get it. I mean, it is what it is. So that's something that, and my main thing is to provide income for other people, because I currently manage a dispensary and a grow house cultivation. I manage both of them, so I'm learning how to run your own business. So I might as well keep it going. Did I know this was gonna happen? No, but I'm learning how to do those types of things. So, like earlier, you asked me if I were offered a job. Well, not a job, but if I were offered to work in the healthcare with our people, would I do it? It would be a big decision to make because it can't do both.
It sounds like it might be too small for you. If I'm just offering my opinion, it sounds like it might be too small. Sounds like you're gonna come back and rock it. You know, it sounds like you're gonna come back and, you know, change the face of something. Maybe nice. Inspire other entrepreneurs to take the chance.
I hope it does. I feel like a lot of my language when I do come home, I'm always talking about something like, you know, opening up some type of income that you enjoy doing, and you build it from ground up. My language as and then people, they probably like, well, give me some money to do it, and this and that and the other. Well, I ain't got money for stuff like that. I don't think it's necessarily the money. The money will come. Money always comes, especially if you hustle for it. But that grind and your motivation, that's where you have to cling on to, because, oh my God. You can get unmotivated so damn fast, it ain't even funny. Like, I don't feel like doing this.
Yeah. Well,
I got you.
I came down here to make myself available, and I'll tell you, like I'm telling so many other people we've talked on here and maybe off the podcast, I'll help if you want help. Even if it comes down to literally building from the ground up, I'll help. I'm here to do that, whether it be to start my own thing, which I think I will, and to facilitating, helping people reach their dream. I'm all about that. What you're up to sounds good, and what your goals are, what your future looks like, sounds good to me. So, you know, we're both me and Sky, we're phone calls away. So you let us know, and you come back. You know, you come back on the podcast and let us all know how it's going. I mean, you don't have to record it. You know, you don't have to do it on the podcast. But you know, I'm sure, as you've proven here, you have ties here. I'm sure that people here would like to hear what you're doing.
I've been talking about it. I'm excited. I'm very excited to see what the future. Like you said, we are the adults, and we are the ones that are, you know, taking over certain things. As the ones underneath us are watching us as role models and examples, and this and that and the other. So I'm happy for everyone that I'm familiar with and what they are doing. Like Juan, my good friend Michelle, she works with the suicide prevention, and
cool.
I mean, it's just things that I wouldn't have thought that, and it's part, you know, it's all on the reservation. It's all for the good. It's just things as we grew up, I didn't know where we all were gonna mold into.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm trying to be with the big dogs. I'm trying to be with the ones that keeping our reservation of life. And, you know, so people, you know, we don't have someone from, you know, I don't know, someone from Wyoming. I'm not even going to say Wyoming, that's a random state. Someone from next door, New Mexico, they come in and they do everything that we're set here to do for our own people, our own, you know, our own area, and keep it going. And the hardest part about all that is the language. I don't know how to speak Altham. I really wish I knew how to speak Altham. I asked my grandparents, why didn't you teach your kids to speak Altham? And their growing up was the boarding schools, and they were taught not to speak that language anymore. So they were forced up out of it. So now they have to Altham was their first language. Now they're learning English, and they just stuck with English. Now a lot of the language I'm not gonna say dying out, but it's scattered. Yeah. It's scattered. There's always gonna be somebody who's gonna speak Altham. That's not gonna end, but it's just scattered.
I think we talked about that with I think when people say they don't speak Altham, but they know slang, but I think slang is Altham. I think people just maybe need to feel more comfortable saying they do know versus maybe not knowing everything. Because it's in order to know Altham is every day you gotta be learning stuff. And then there's stuff that we didn't have, the iPhone or the smartphone, stuff that we have in our day to day that there might not be no words for, So it's so strange how we kind of feel. I don't want to say handicapped by English, but we're talking English now, so it almost feels like English is kind of dominant. But yeah, boarding schools are a big part of that. No lie. I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but it's damn, that really screwed us big time,
Yeah, and then what I'm so I did have my little fair share of going to TLCC, the community college, and this one particular class, it was a speech class, and what they taught you was how to speak in public speaking. Try not to say and keep your words flowing. So they were all about that. And so what they had done was, one of the topics was find someone that you're interested in. It could be a role model, it could be a family, and they gave us a list of questions to ask, and if you want to add to it. So I interviewed my grandfather. That's where I learned about why don't we know Altham, because Altham, Spanish, and English. And then I interviewed my grandmother, same thing. So it was thank you TLCC for having us have that project for me to record them and listen to their, actually tell them to jump on the podcast, but record them and listen to how they're growing up compared to my growing up. And I asked my grandpa, I said, so how do you feel about cell phones? Because you have an iPhone, you have a better phone than me. And he's like, I like it. I mean, and he's the old school guy. He's the old school cowboy. He's almost 90. Wow. So 90 years ago was definitely not what it is now. Yeah. So that's where I learned about the why my particular family, why we don't speak Altham fluently. Yeah, we know little words here and there, especially Hiji. Yeah. Hiji is always Hiji, but little words here and there. So it ain't never gonna die out. It's just scattered. It's just the scattered abroad. And Mary Wan, I was always amazed with her because her mother taught her Altham, and she's so fluent with it. And shoot, we're all the same age. I wanted to be. She was so inspiring to be fluent in that way.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was always jealous of that myself. Yeah.
I was jealous of that, which is amazing. Thankful for her mother and her grandmother. teaching her certain things like that. And you know, whatever she's doing, I hope it's an inspiration to others to know your language and know your history. She knows a lot. She's been taught. She's been taught a lot. Right on the reservation. A whole school out here. We teach each other.
Yeah. Sweet. Is that the note there? Do you, like, I guess as a closing thing, what do you see coming in the future for you? Like the near future, or maybe like way down the road? What do you hope will happen? What do you think will happen for the res, and what do you think will happen for you?
As far as the reservation in a whole, because we are, you know, when I come home, it's the same, but it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I feel like good things are going to happen, and it's going to be a battle. I think the resources that we're able to get a hold of, and how it's easier to teach yourself what you need to know because of the technology that we are given. I think it will be great things that happen. And then as for myself personally, I think, and I know I'll add on to the better ways of, you know, I'm not going to say the better ways of life, but the upkeep of something we all are growing up on. And it may sound like, oh, it's just the res. Why would you do this? People don't take care of this. And they don't do that, which is not entirely true. It always takes one person to change the mindset of someone else, and that person can change the mindset and so on and so forth. So I feel like it's going to be positive things all the way through. It's nice. It's nice to see, like, the Sky and Jeff, they were coaching the basketball, and it was like Devin, Travis, and Jason Wan, how they were coaching Little League baseball, I think it was, like the baseball. So it's nice to see things like that happen, because it's interacting with the public, it's interacting with, you know, everybody.
Yeah, youth and community, Yeah,
it's just an example. Like that, you said your cousin was the like the boss of the emergency room.
I don't know what her official title is, but she's like the head nurse in the ER.
That is a big deal.
It's huge.
So things
it's
like
huge,
that. It's nice. It's nice to, like, they took over these positions, and the ones that are coming up under them, we can you know, teach each other. So when I do come back, and I don't know nothing about no laundry, man. I need water, I need machines, I need all kind of stuff. I don't know the ins and outs of it yet, but it'd be nice to build things within. Of course, everyone's gonna come in with a helping hand, and I think it's gonna be positive. It's gonna be positive all the way through to the next. What are we in 2020? What year is it? 2021?
Yeah.
I don't know what year it is. In 15 years, this is, good times, like just good. Because the ones that are above, not above us, but the ones that are older than us, and they had, done this and done that, I know that they feel good about the stuff that they did, because they are content with their life, and they're still here on the reservation. Nothing wrong with the res.
Yeah.
Well,
you've been washing, you've been doing your own laundry since forever, so you'll figure it out.
I know, right? I need this, and I need multiples of this machine.
You need table. You need to play some kind of music during the day. Some vending machines. A bathroom for only customers.
Right, see, I didn't think of that. I'm just...
You could even throw
bathroom.
Yeah, you could even throw an arcade in there, little arcade game, for all the kids waiting on their parents. And there's more quarters coming in right there.
I want some more money, and that's more job openings too. Like, I need someone to make sure it's clean, and the machines are kept up, and oh yeah, actually, like how the Dashes Plaza is, we have like another plaza of things that we actually do need. We need it. It's not. It's because it's crazy how people. It's crazy how they ones that don't have a laundry in their house. There are places that, I mean, I know they don't even have a washing machine.
Yeah.
Or it's just the washing machine. And they got to hang their clothes up outside on the line, which is nothing wrong with that. But there's some that don't have either one, and so they pile their clothes and they shoot to the city. Yeah. To go do laundry, and that's a nice little stretch, and you got to make the time for it. So it will just be a relief. I feel like it will be a relief to the whole the whole res. It would just be such a relief. It would be a relief to me because. How you gonna wash your blankets and stuff in a small washing machine? Yep. You kind of need those big bulkier ones.
You gotta have those ones, Well,
and I know people have been talking about it and been discussing it. It always takes somebody to just give it a shot. I can't say it's gonna happen. I'm trying to speak it into existence.
Yeah. That's how it starts.
That's how.
I've never really been a talker. I just do, if you know me or anyone that knows me, things that I say I'm going to do, I'm going to do it.
Good luck.
I'm going to do it. It is what it is. I think the future, the future is very positive.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Did you grow up going to the laundromat? Or, because, like, when we lived in town, we always were at the laundromat. On Sundays and weekend washing our clothes. But
no, I grew up with the washing machine, and you got to hang your stuff outside on the line. You better hurry up because Grandma's about to make some chillin'.
Oh yeah,
I don't like fire, so you better get up early. And then we were sharing the washing machine between, because families live with each other, and there's so many people in the house, and so you better get your laundry out the way and get it off the line. Because you can't just let it sit in the washing machine. The clothes are in there.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Damn.
So that's how I grew up, and then I had the luxury of having a washer and a dryer at one point, and so it's like, we need that. I had washing nothing.
Yeah, I think you should get it to the point where we have it just like the rec centers, where they're in the villages. Like everywhere, not just one location, but everywhere in the res. Everybody needs it somewhere out there, and I think you have the ability to do it. It's kind of like when all those natural disasters happen out in Louisiana, all over, and sometimes the laundry, like Tide, will send a laundromat over, and I'm sure that was like a lifesaver for someone, for a group of people that maybe just wearing some fresh, clean clothes would lighten their load, Literally lighten their load. They wash their clothes, So I think you're onto something. I think there's a key to making change and getting involved. Putting yourself out there is finding a need that people, there's a need, there's a vacuum there, and you could be the person that shows up and fills that. So, So, I guess, I can hear it. So, I guess in closing, I just want to say, I've said this before to a couple other guests as well, and this guy, from my perspective, I got a smile on my face, and I'm thinking that our res, our people, our community here, we're in good hands. And if I believe in the power of potential and the power in numbers. That if you're out there, if Sky's out there, if Juan's out there, there's got to be others that feel the same way. And if we just all start, doing some part of that, filling some vacuum, taking care of some need, taking care of the kids, taking care of our community, that others will be inspired. And I think our future looks bright here on the res and in our communities. So I'm glad you're out there, and I'm glad you came on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I will come back and share different things, especially of the ones that are interested in knowing where this new facility is going and what's going to happen.
Yeah, they're like, when is this?
I would be.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother. Yeah, because there's a lot of questions I have. But yeah, you're killing it.
You're killing
you've always been. So just keep
doing it.
Being CJ.
Yeah.
Or Cassandra, or like you said, all your nicknames that you're accumulating.
AKA.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Safe travels.
Yeah, safe travels home.
Back to your other home. And, I always keep up with your Snapchat and just crack up through there. Because we can talk about a whole lot of different other things, like just slang and all the different, because you speak a lot of different languages, like, and I know your Snapchat is funny because you'll be like saying things in autumn, and then you'll be saying things like on the medical side, and then you're talking about plants, and I'm like, man, you're like, yeah, you're Bill Nye, you're Bill Nye the Science Guy, but like way cooler, like hipper, and so no, I just I'm glad you. Anytime we weren't too sure if we're gonna actually get this done today, but yeah, it was cool.
I'm glad you did.
And I'm glad that you're able to make those connections with your people out here, but then you're also still taking care of business back in Oklahoma. So it's been fun talking with you, but also fun to know you over the years, because it's always like I said, like you always bringing the good stuff.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to do the podcast and all that home because it's a sense of relief and a peace of mind. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad it worked out. I'm glad that everything happened. It was good to share all this that I shared, and the ones that are listening, I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.
Follow me on Snapchat. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Promote it. That's what this is about.
Stay together. Keep together. Keep it pushing. Keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for listening, everybody. This is another successful podcast here. Thank you, Cassandra, and thank you, everybody out there who's listening. Thanks for showing up, Sky. I'm glad we held out. So I'm gonna hit the big red button now. So
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Cool.
All right. Peace, everyone.